Okay, so you're ready to move, huh? Ready for a fresh start in a brand new neighborhood?
Big decision, right?
Huge. And there's so much to think about.
Yeah, so much more than just like, what the house looks like.
Exactly. So we dove into this article, How to Choose the Perfect Neighborhood for Your Family, and wow, it's got some really great insights.
Oh yeah, it really makes you think about things you might not even consider at first.
Like, the first thing it asks is, what kind of life do you actually want to live in this new place?
I love that. It's not about the house. It's about like the whole lifestyle.
Right. Like, do you picture yourself like walking to cafes and art galleries on the weekends?
Or you more, hiking trails and farmers markets. Totally
Yeah,
different vibe.
totally. And the article really pushes you to figure that out before you even start looking at houses.
Makes sense. I mean, if you're all about like peace and quiet,
Yeah, being in the middle of a bustling downtown probably won't make you happy.
not a good fit.
Nope. And then, of course, it gets into all the the must-have amenities,
Schools, grocery stores.
all that. But then it goes deeper, it talks about those extras that can really make a difference in your day-to-day life.
Oh yeah, the stuff you might not think about right away.
Like, it talks a lot about parks and playgrounds, but not just from a kid's perspective.
Right. It's like green space is important for everyone.
Exactly. For family time, for exercise, even just for de-stressing.
It's so true. Just being out in nature can change your whole mood.
Totally. And the article also talks about libraries and community centers.
Oh, those are good ones.
Yeah, I kind of skimmed over those at first, but it makes a good point about how they can help you connect with your community.
Meet people, learn new things.
It's not just about having books or a gym, it's about that sense of belonging.
Totally. And that can be so important, especially when you're new to a place.
For sure. Okay, now let's talk about safety, which is obviously,
Top of mind for everyone.
especially families. And the article talks about checking crime statistics, which, is important,
Yeah, you gotta do your research.
but it also stresses the importance of trusting your gut.
That feeling you get when you actually visit a neighborhood.
Yes. Does it feel safe? Do you feel comfortable walking around?
Because sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story.
I totally agree. I remember once looking at this neighborhood, it had great crime stats, but something just felt off when I was there.
Interesting. See, that's your intuition talking.
Yeah, and I think it's important to listen to that. So speaking of things that are important,
Schools. Can't forget about schools.
of course, and most people just jump straight to the rankings, right?
Yeah, test scores, all that.
But this article goes deeper. It says you should also think about the culture of the school.
Oh, I like that. Like, what are the values? What's the environment like?
Exactly. Does it match what you believe in?
Because you want your kids to feel comfortable and supported, not just academically, but like emotionally too.
Absolutely. And the article even gives some specific questions to ask during school visits to get a sense of that culture.
Oh, that's smart. Like, what's the parent involvement like?
Yeah, or what kind of extracurriculars are offered, stuff you can't always find online.
Right. You got to get that firsthand experience. Speaking of experience,
The commute. We can't forget the dreaded commute.
oh, the commute, the soul sucker.
Tell me about it. It can impact your whole life, your family time, your stress levels, everything.
And it's so easy to underestimate how much time you'll actually spend in the car.
So true. Although the article does bring up a good point about how, if you work remotely, that opens up a lot more options in terms of neighborhoods.
Oh, for sure, if you're not tied to an office.
You can prioritize different things, like maybe being closer to nature or having more space for your family.
Yeah, it's like a whole new ball game.
It really is. But even if you're not working remotely, you got to factor in that commute time. It's important.
Absolutely. It's about protecting your time, making sure you actually get to enjoy living in your chosen neighborhood.
Exactly. And speaking of enjoying your neighborhood,
The community vibe. This is where
Yeah.
it gets fun.
yes, this is what makes a neighborhood a community, right?
Totally. It's the people, the local businesses, the overall feeling you get.
And the article has some great tips for gauging that vibe. It says to look for neighborhoods with active social media groups or online forums.
Oh, that's a good one. It's like a sneak peek into how people interact.
Right. You can get a sense of, are they friendly? Do they organize events?
Are they like constantly complaining about the HOA? Red flag.
Uh-huh, exactly. But it's not just about online interaction. The article also says to, actually spend an afternoon in the neighborhood.
Yeah, go to a cafe, walk around, chat with people.
See if it feels like a good fit. Do you feel welcomed? Do you see yourself being friends with these people?
Because at the end of the day, it's about finding a place where you feel like you belong.
Exactly. And that can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that sense of belonging. It's so important. And the article really emphasizes that idea of picturing yourself in the neighborhood a few years down the line.
Yeah, like imagine yourself 5 years from now. Are you happy?
Exactly. And it suggests, like, really getting specific with it.
Like, what am I doing on a random Tuesday night?
Yeah, or like a Saturday morning. Are you walking your kids to school? Are you chatting with neighbors?
Ooh, or picture this. I'm grabbing coffee at the local bakery.
Ooh, yeah. And you bump into someone you know and like,
And we're chatting about like the school play or something.
exactly, you're part of the community, you know?
Yeah.
And the article asks, like, do you see your kids playing with other kids in the neighborhood?
Oh, that's a good one. Because, like, if you want that kind of close-knit, kids running around everywhere vibe,
You got to prioritize that, yeah. Some neighborhoods are just not set up for that.
totally. Like cul-de-sacs versus like apartment buildings, huge difference.
Huge. And it's not just about the kids either. The article asks, like, do you see yourself having those impromptu gatherings with neighbors?
Ooh, like a barbecue or something.
Yeah. Or a book club, or just like hanging out on the porch.
I love that. But, not everyone wants that.
Oh, totally. Some people are like, no thanks, I need my space.
And the article acknowledges that, which I appreciate. It says some people thrive in those like bustling social scenes.
And others are like, hard pass.
Right. And it's about being honest with yourself about which one you are.
Because forcing yourself to be super social when you're not.
Recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So it's like, find that balance, a place where you feel connected, but not overwhelmed.
Love that. It's about finding a community that fits your personality, not trying to fit into a community.
Yes. So important. And I think that could be really reassuring for people who are feeling like stressed about the whole neighborhood search.
Oh, absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others.
Like, oh, they live in that fancy neighborhood. I should too.
Yeah, but it's like, who cares? The best neighborhood is the one that's best for you.
100%. And the article has some like really creative ideas for actually gathering information about neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah. It goes beyond just like looking at listings online.
Way beyond.
Yeah.
Like it suggests attending local events.
Ooh, I like that. Get a feel for the vibe.
Right. Or even just like hanging out at a coffee shop, eavesdropping on conversations.
Haha, love it. Like, are people talking about like the local dog park?
Yeah. Or they complain about the traffic. Important clues.
Totally. It's like you're a detective trying to solve the mystery of the perfect neighborhood.
I love that. And you never know what you might discover. Maybe you stumble upon a hidden gem of a bookstore.
Or a cool little vintage shop.
Right. The stuff that doesn't show up in online reviews.
And those are often the things that make a neighborhood special, right? Those little quirks.
Totally. And the article reminds us, like, no neighborhood is perfect. There are always going to be downsides.
Like maybe the parking is a nightmare.
Or the property taxes are outrageous.
Right. But it's about finding a place where the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah, a place where you feel comfortable being yourself, imperfections and all. Which brings up a, like, very practical aspect. Actually finding and getting a property once you've picked your neighborhood.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that because that can be a whole other beast, right?
Oh, totally. But the article gives some helpful advice, like using online resources.
Oh, those can be lifesavers.
They are. Like, you can filter by all sorts of criteria.
Like number of bedrooms, price range, proximity to schools.
Exactly. And the article specifically mentioned RentLelo.com.
Oh, I've heard good things about that site.
Yeah, apparently it has some super specific filters, so you can really narrow down your search.
So if you're like, I need a fenced-in yard for my dog,
Boom. You can filter out all the places that don't have that.
love it. Technology to the rescue.
Right. But the article also says, technology can only do so much. Sometimes you need that human touch.
Like a good real estate agent.
Exactly. Someone who knows the local market, who can answer your questions, who can help you negotiate.
Someone who's been there, done that, and can help you avoid any like rookie mistakes.
Totally. And they suggest finding an agent who specializes in the neighborhoods you're interested in.
Oh, that's a good tip. Like if you're looking in a very specific area.
You want an agent who knows the ins and outs of that area.
Makes sense. It's like combining the power of technology with the wisdom of human experience.
Exactly. The best of both worlds.
And ultimately, it's about finding someone who you trust, someone who gets your vision.
Yeah, someone who can help you navigate the whole process, which can be pretty overwhelming.
No kidding. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about finding a house, it's about finding a home.
A place where your family can grow, where you can make memories, where you feel a sense of belonging.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
It really is. It's funny, as we've been talking about all this, like the lifestyle and the schools and the community stuff,
Yeah.
I was thinking picking a neighborhood is kind of like picking a friend?
Ooh, I like that. Tell me more.
Well, it's like you're looking for that same kind of like compatibility.
You want to feel comfortable?
Exactly. Like supported, understood, just like with a good friend.
Right. You want to feel like you can be yourself around them.
Totally. And just like with friends, it's important to like be open-minded when you're looking at neighborhoods.
Yeah, don't just stick to what you think you want.
Right. Explore different areas. Step outside your comfort zone a little.
You might be surprised by what you find. Like you might discover this awesome little neighborhood that you never even knew existed.
Totally. And just like sometimes it takes a while to find a really good friend.
Yeah, you don't just click with everyone right away.
Right. It can take time to find that perfect fit. And the same goes for neighborhoods.
Mm.
Don't settle for a place that doesn't feel quite right just because it seems convenient or whatever.
Trust your gut. If something feels off,
Yeah.
keep looking. The right neighborhood is out there. Just got to be patient.
And just like with good friends, the effort is worth it.
Oh, 100%. Finding that neighborhood where you truly feel at home,
It can be
it
life-changing.
really can. Like it can give you that sense of belonging, that feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself.
It's like having a whole community of friends, right? People who support you, who look out for each other.
Exactly. And that can make such a huge difference in your overall happiness and well-being.
Couldn't agree more. So, as we wrap up our deep dive here, any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are on the hunt for their dream neighborhood?
I just say be open to possibilities, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. Talk to people who live in the neighborhoods you're considering. Get their insights. And most importantly, have fun with the process. It's a big decision, but it should also be an exciting time full of possibility and the chance to create the life you've always wanted.
Beautifully said. So, to everyone out there searching for their perfect neighborhood, happy house hunting. And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination.